Hello and welcome to this edition of Tips and Tricks. Now today I'll be talking about how to fish a drop shot on a bait caster. If you watch my shows, you know I use the drop shot all the time. I get a lot of comments from people saying, hey, you need to do a how-to, and I'm like, well, but it's a drop shot. Then I realized I fish a little bit different because I fish it on the bait caster, and well, my setup's completely different, which I'll get into. But most people think I've been fishing this thing forever. I didn't start fishing a drop shot until 2012. I mean, it's been around for like 30 years, and I started fishing it 5 years ago. I've been fishing for 40 years for bass. I'm just really good at figuring out a technique and figuring out its uses. When I got introduced to it, it was just people off the side of their boat, dropping it down, just kind of dragging it. I didn't realize how versatile it was. And the reality is, I fish it like I do a jig or a plastic worm. I don't fish it like most people fish the drop shot. And my setup's not the same. I mean, I do like 8 to 10 inches. Always do that, never change it. I fish it with a bullet weight, and I put a little split shot below it because I want it. I'm feeling the weight like I'm feeling it when I'm working a jig or plastic worm. Sure, the bait's up above it, but I'm feeling it, like I said, like I'm just, the way I work it and all that is like I'm working it. I'm thinking of the weight coming over the bottom. I know the worm's above it. That's why I use 3/16 all the time. I've tried 1/8 and lighter, but the way I do it with the bait caster and working like worm net, it just doesn't, it falls out. It loosens from the line. The 3/16 keeps it nice and tight and gives it the action I want. I don't use a drop shot hook. I use the Owner Mosquito hook, a number 2, and I do it nose hooked, not all the way through, but half in and up. Hopefully you can see that, or I'll put it over here. Can you see that? That's the best way to do it. That gives it the nice, perfect. If you go through it, it can twist. This makes it more in line with the hook and part of the hook, so it comes through. And I throw this thing, like I said, just like a worm or a jig. I throw it over rocks, I throw it over wood. Since I have it half in that, the hook's actually not out, so it's pretty much weedless. I throw it over weeds, you know, sucking hydrilla and weeds. It'll come through it, unless the weeds get locked in that little part. But that's the way I fish a drop shot on a bait caster. It's a medium heavy rod. Actually, it's a medium rod. 12-pound line. A lot of people do it on, 6 and 8 when I go drop it. No, 12-pound. That's all I use on it. I will go lighter if it's really clear water or, public pond, that kind of thing, where I need to go to finesse. But that's the way I fish a drop shot on the bait caster. I've never fished one on a spinning reel. It's only been on the bait caster because I fish it like the same way I do, and the way I work it over things and all that. It's the same way I work a jig or a plastic worm on a Texas rig or a plastic creature or whatever. So there you go. How to fish a drop shot on a bait caster. I hope this helps.